Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slain Hope. And I got a quick message for y'all. Right? Quick message, so bear with me. Because I got a real question, right? This is for the brothers, right? Without blaming the white man, slavery, Jim Crow, whatever else that y'all used to blaming, and even black women, right? Because a lot of brothers got this habit, right, of just putting the outwardly blame, right? They can't take accountability for how they have engaged or how they have not engaged, right? And when it comes to like our families and our communities overall. So without blaming the black woman, the white man, Jim Crow, slavery, etc., how are you responsible for where our community is at today? Right? It's a real question. Now again, remember, because some of you seem to not really understand when I be breaking down certain things, right? Without mentioning, right, slavery, Jim Crow, white supremacy, black women, etc. What are you responsible for when it comes to our communities today? Some of you might say nothing. Okay, that's how you feel, that's how you feel, right? But let's be real. There's a lot of things that we have not done, that we have not upheld, and in some cases we have even brought about destruction to our communities. We got to be real, and a lot of y'all not ready for this conversation. So because you're not ready for this conversation and you're not ready to take accountability, right, and be held responsible for some of the things that you have not done or done in your community, you tend to blame. You tend to blame everybody else. You tend to blame even your own women, right? So I give you an example. I used to gangbang. Some of y'all that know me know my story, right? I gangbang. I went to prison. I caused some destruction to my community. I recruited people. I did X, Y, Z, etc., right? I did my time. When I was released, 95% of the people, the men in prison, they blame somebody else for them being in prison. They don't even take full credit and responsibility for them being in prison. They'll blame somebody else. They'll blame the community. They'll blame the white man. They'll blame Jim Crow. They'll blame their mama. They'll blame everybody else except themselves. And a lot of people do this in the community. It's almost as if they don't got no agency to the stuff that they have done. It's almost as if they just, I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. It's not my fault. So let's break this down a little bit. So to a certain extent, I don't deny that there's external factors. There's things, there's conditioning, there's environment. There is those things. And even though those things still exist, agency still exists within that. And I think that's the part that a lot of people have a problem with. They love holding on to the external factors, but we never look within. We never look at the mirror, right? To finally look at that person that is responsible for a lot of the things that we're going through, right? So, for example, like I was saying, I did my time. I went to prison. Boom, boom, boom. I was gangbanging. I stopped gangbanging. Whatever. The deceitfulness, I got into it with my own crew, whatever. Some people were snakes. Some people were cool people. You just kind of like realize it's just not what they painted it to be, right? I was manipulated. I was bamboozled. I learned from it, right? I was young. I'm glad that I caught my bait. When I caught my bait, I was able to learn. I was able to see for what it was, the manipulation and the envy, the deceit, and all of those things, right? Anyway, fast forward. I come home. I get with an organization. Well, I get with around some people, some black folk. And we're talking about like our experiences. We're talking about like what we went through. We're talking about, different things, right? And every time we were talking about certain things, the blame was always kind of like blame or like put on like white supremacy, white people, slavery, Jim Crow. Like it just never, we could never get too far off from the conversation. And like I said, please don't come here. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not disputing that those things have played a part in some things. Two things could be truth at once. Three things, four things. A lot of things can be truth at once. I don't want to dwell on white supremacy. Okay? I don't want to dwell on Jim Crow, on slavery, on none of those things. I want to dwell on how we have destroyed or aided or added or become agents of white supremacy. I want to talk about how we have become agents of the white man, right? So I don't want to dwell on that side because we've been dwelling on that side for a very, very, very long time. I want to dwell on how some of us have helped the white man destroy our organizations, right? By being informants. Some of us have aided them. Some of us have gave up tea, description, set some of our brothers up, right? So we have done a lot. Let's not act like they were able to do a lot of the things that they was able to do just on their own. Some people within our community have aided and have helped a lot, right? To the point where it seems like the white man has beat the fight out of the black man, right? He has beat the fight. He has beat the crap out of the black man. And now, when we have these conversations about how we get up, stand up, Craig, get up. You don't want to get up. You start talking about, well, you see what happened. When we try to build our own, they burnt it down, and they did this, and they flooded our towns, and they did. Since when has it become cool to fall down and not get up? Since when has it become cool to stay on the ground when you get knocked down? Since when? And then we want to call ourselves men? We want to call ourselves men? We make excuse after excuse after excuse. What are we going to do today? Don't tell me about what happened. What are we going to do today to stand up? Because I'm sick of some of you. What are we going to do today to stand up? So like I said, I got tired of this narrative when I was working with some people, when I was engaging with some people, because everything was just blame, 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 blame. But what have we done? We have to acknowledge what we've done. We have to acknowledge how many of our children we have abandoned. And we let the streets raise them. Right? We got to acknowledge that. In some places, when you look at some places around the world, bro, you got the Palestinian people. They fight with rocks. With rocks and slingshots. Against tanks. Against more sophisticated weapons. They still standing up. They still standing up. And we here laying down. Oh, well, you see what happened. You see what they did. We here. They don't beat the crap. They don't beat the fight out the black man. And then you wonder why your woman's so aggressive. You wonder why your woman's so aggressive. And then you blame her for being aggressive. You blame her for being aggressive. Because your ass chose to lay down. Because your ass chose to give up the fight. Because your ass can't take some agency and go take your community back. Another thing that goes into the blaming of a woman. How is it that, because men say this all the time, right? Men constantly sit around here and say that women are irrational. Women don't think logically, right? That they make decisions based on their emotions, etc., etc. So why is it that you blame them for picking the men that they pick or making the decisions that they make when you clearly have said out your own mouth that they can't make logical decisions? You clearly have said out your own mouth that they make irrational decisions based on their emotions. So how is it that on one hand you say that, but then on the other hand you're trying to blame them for the decisions that they make? When you clearly just said before that they was incompetent in the first place to make those decisions. I don't get some of you. I don't get some of you. Come on, brothers, we gotta be better. Danger is real. Fear is optional. Stand up. I'm gonna say that again. Danger is real. Fear is optional. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to maybe not even have a sense of direction. But to lay down, bro. To lay down. And then you wonder why these women don't want to be with you, bro. We all primal creatures at the end of the day. Women want to be with a man that they feel like, if somebody slap me, like I know you're going to defend me. I know you're going to protect. I know you're going to take that risk. You think because you just went to school, because you got a good paying job? Bro, we're primal creatures. Nobody wants to hang out with a coward. I don't even want to be around cowards. I don't want to be in a situation, we're not looking for trouble, but I don't want to be in a situation where dudes are, because there's a lot of dudes that just be out there looking for stuff. I don't want to be in a situation with you and dudes looking for smoke and you a coward. Nobody wants to be around a coward. But you get mad at sisters because they don't pick you because you got a good job and you got a degree, but you're still a coward. She doesn't feel protected around you. She doesn't feel safe. But you want to be mad at her. You want to be mad at her. You want to be mad at her, bro, because you don't got no backbone. Because you're afraid, because the white men are beat the fight out of you and showed you images every once in a while of our black brothers, of how they could lock you up, how they could kill you, how they could do certain things. And now you're scared. You're scared to death. Don't look around and blame other people. Blame ourselves, man, for not continuously fighting. Imagine if our ancestors stopped fighting. Imagine if our ancestors became weak like you and gave up the fight and just said, you know what? It is what it is. Imagine. Where would we be? Imagine if the South never decided to separate themselves from the North. Where would we be? Imagine. That's something that I just been thinking about that lately. Imagine if the South never decided to separate from the North and the North never decided to punish the South and then in that regard abolish enslavement. Where will we be? Of course, a lot of people were a little more courageous back then. But we got to stand up, brothers. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming white supremacy. Stop blaming the white man. Stop blaming your women. Stop blaming Jim Crow. And get your agency. And look at your faults and our shortcomings. And let's be better, man. Peace.